I'd like to welcome you all to Mothers I Lost. Little gold star validations. 3 mothers. You all cared for me at different times and periods of my life. But things changed. Then you passed. Jeannie in 2000, Judy in 2003, and Barbara in 2023. I remember when I got a gold sticker on my homework, I'd run home holding it up for validation, maybe even something resembling love, and it worked for a while. But then it didn't. Was it not shiny enough? Were the edges peeling up? I would get my homework 100% right forever, and even double check my answers if it would bring you back. I haven't cried much since I found out. I'm afraid I will run out of liquid in my eyes and go blind. I can't see. Why couldn't you just stay all along? But we all have our journeys, the paths that we must walk. I now know that my path led me to making art about my painful experiences so that others don't feel alone. I'll use this little gold stars to light a way through our darkness. 3 moms. Dear you 3, Mom, Mother, Mommy. Grieving has been hard. Turning off the faucet is the only way I think I can make the tears stop. The only thing worse than losing you 3 once was losing you 3 twice. Jeannie, I didn't know you long, but I think I got my fight from you. And maybe I got my light from you. I found my siblings a few years ago, but you weren't there to wrap me up in your arms like only birth mothers can do. I was really only looking for you. I thought about what you'd look, act, and smell like. We'd sit for hours and talk. I'm sorry that didn't happen. I forgive and love you. Judy. I just learned about you a few months ago. I got your handwritten letter, the one you wrote the day before I was taken from you and adopted. Your love poured from it like my tears as I read it. Thank you for taking and giving love to little me. He needed it for the journey ahead and for what awaited him. You passed in 2000 while I was walking through hell. Maybe you were the one that helped me not get 4th-degree burns in places I didn't belong. It was all wrong, but it's all right now. Love you. Barbara, I was in your life for 23 years. That is 725,328,000 seconds. And all I wanted to be was your first priority. Early on, it was fine, good even, but then it was terribly horrific. It was nothing that I did. I was a good, quiet, and tiny kid. I loved things like Legos, Mario, and Ghostbusters. Your lies burned my mind like lighting a pack of matches. You were unpredictable, like opening a can of biscuits. When is it going to pop? Why? Why did you try to turn me into a monster that I wasn't? Why did you send me to places where monsters truly existed? Why did you brush it off when I finally told you that the monsters hurt me years later? I am 39 fucking years old. I have done so much work on myself, but there are still things about you that haunt my dreams. And after all that, there is still a small, tiny little me inside that still just wants you to love him. Me? Loving and hating is a part of the same coin. Both take time and energy. And you can love something you used to hate, and you can hate something you used to love. So I will give you this: hate and love. IHAVEU. I have the good parts of you and the bad. It would be dishonest to say that these weren't ingredients in the recipe of me, but I did the mixing. I took out the eggshells when I messed up. I started over again and again and again when I burned out. And each time I feel closer to who I'm supposed to be, who you just couldn't see. Do you see me now? Now that everything has been wiped clean? Do you see me now? Do I make you proud? Not enough. I remember thinking in my head, speaking out loud, forming a scientific mathematical equation: a squared times 3 to the 4th power equals mommy being happy and loving me again. No amount of X's and O's would lead to a W. I would have taken my Nintendo and red Game Boy back to the store in return for your love. But no refunds, I guess. Scrub-a-love. I scrubbed, and it didn't matter how hard. I couldn't clean the parts that made you stop loving me. Bleach, Ajax, scrubbing fucking bubbles. I scorched my throat with their chemically stench, hoping I would break through what you said, that I was filthy and unlovable. My skin ran raw, my muscles sore. The brush dropped. The water was turned off. And yet, that stain still remains. But others have found ways to love it. So why couldn't you? Close sins. You hang on to me with every piercing word you said, like laundry out on a line. Yet, I always came back. But then I didn't, which was totally out of my nature. I couldn't do it anymore. All I wanted was your love, but you showered me with hate and anger. I am sorry you never saw what makes me pretty fucking awesome. Other people tell me about it every day. One day, I might just go and believe them. Until then, I think I will use the dryer. World War B. I lined my troops up in straight lines circled all around you, chucking grenades over your lockdown kryptonite walls, ignoring your landline phone calls. I'm running through the school halls, setting off all the fire alarms. You wanted me to fight, signing me up for karate, alright? After I was being bullied in the 6th grade and dropped on my head, I wasn't that kind of kid back then. I would have just hidden under my bed. Fuck that, I could have died. Game over, let's go again. Blowing on Nintendo game cartridges, pulling pins like Pez containers, breaking glass bones. I was sensitive and fragile. Send me to Italy, I'll go spicy like meatballs. You have me thinking we were allies. Laughing, sharing secrets and shit, shopping, kayaking, going to breakfast and shit. As soon as I turn around, I'm in a cell that feels familiar, like the lost and found. Been here so many times before, beaten with extension cords, praying to numerous mute lords. Breathe. Now that I'm ready to blow a fuse, there's no use. There's no use. But I'm mad, boiling hot like a fever, sleeping in green cots. I'm now standing here in the aftermath of it all, and you are all dead, gone forever. What do I tell little me that's deep inside of me, B? He has always fucking loved you, always, and you locked that love away in a chest and then given it away to people for free that have done less. Prisoners of war? No, more like prisoners of sore. I'm tired of remembering the tragedy of World War B. There was love here first. There was love here first, once upon a time ago. The clock must have fallen off the wall, along with Humpty Dumpty. How can things crack so fast? I have these things that show love, but they seem so far away. Did you forget? Did my shininess lose its luster? I mattered at some point, so what changed? I was fucking adorable back then. So what made you leave? Give up? Or hurt me? I appreciate the foundation you gave me, but I deserved more. Yeah, I have every report card, Boy Scout and karate uniform, and more evidence that love existed. But even ghosts eventually evaporate. I wish these things were different. I could have used my mother during these last 15 years to tell me that I mattered, to keep me off the ledge in this tough world. I survived more times than a calculator can count, but I wish I had my mommy, the one from before, who looked at me with eyes filled with hope and adoration. All I remember is contempt, anger, and disappointment. Feels like 2 worlds and 4 peoples ago. I guess I'll just stay with the storybook version. Became the care I needed. I wish I knew you all more. I wish I could have done more to keep you in my life. But I did enough. Was enough. You didn't hold up your end of the agreement. For some reason, you couldn't or wouldn't. Does it even matter at this point? I learned how to care for myself, even with all the voices in my head that you placed there long ago that told me I didn't deserve it. I went years without love or hugs. Didn't stop me from trying, though. I eventually became what you couldn't. Then one day, I became more. Little gold star stickers. And at the end, they were just stickers. I had to find my own meaning and validation, opening my eyes to see my own shine. I'd been walking around with sunglasses on in pea soup thick fog until someone reached in and pulled me out, showing me a world beyond the sadness. Tara Beans, I am forever grateful and love you more than I can produce these words on this page. Mothers, I'd like to introduce you to these women. Brooke, Melissa, PJ, Kim, Ricky, Sarah, Tara, Tabitha, Meg, Jax, Samantha, Lisa, Catherine, Kaz, Jen, Susie, Justine, Michelle, Dawn, and Sarah. And I'm sure there's so many more. They saved, believed, helped, changed, and made me rethink dying. They provided something that I thought was missing. They are the reason I am here right now. If I built the house of B, they provided the lumber. So mothers, I'm okay down here. Don't worry about me. I got this. I forgive and love you. Sincerely, B.